Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And she's fired up tonight.
I am.
So we're going to talk about Jane Austen, of all things. We're going to talk about Jane Austen.
But I love Jane Austen.
She does love Jane Austen. But we're going to talk about the new Jane Austen Emma.
Well, they had the one with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Clueless is basically Emma, guys.
Yeah.
If you like Clueless, they're doing a new movie of Emma, which I'm like, yay, because I like Emma. I like a lot of Jane Austen stuff. I'm a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. Because you always call yourself Poor Mr. Darcy.
I'm Poor Mr. Darcy. Yeah, anybody that's ever met me will know that I have all of the not so charming personality traits of Mr. Darcy and none of his money to offset those not so charming personality
Then why
traits.
am I here? No, I'm kidding. I still love you.
You can't help it. You're attracted to me.
I am. I love you.
I love you too.
And ironically, I take quizzes all the time, and they have a character you, and I often get Elizabeth Bennet. So, something to be said.
I need someone
Something
to
to be said for
check.
this. But anyway, so they're doing a new Emma movie, which I'm actually quite excited about because I like Emma. It starts out, talking about the story and, how they made the Clueless movie and going about, explaining it. But no, we can't stay there because this is the MarySue. So you know where it's going to go before it goes there. So, however, since I had this criticism for Little Women, I will pass on to Emma as well. There is no need for period dramas to be this white anymore. There's no need for period dramas written by people that were white and had characters that were white to be white anymore. We need to race bend everything because I said so. I also want to know where there's not enough Asians in Uncle Tom's Cabin.
So we're going to talk about all of this in the video because this is a newish trend where we want to basically rewrite history to our liking.
Well, she
because
even says so.
Yeah.
It goes on talking about so that there's a new David Copperfield version, and they're talking about the one I think is it Sanditon? I don't know, but I know what it's about. They have this one character, and she's Black West Indian heiress, and that's fine. Cool, no problem, whatever. But here's where I have a problem. It's really important for us to have the knowledge of that history of Black people and people of color. I agree. It's important to know these things and know, what was going on. Clark said in an interview that history goes much further back than you think. It'd be great to see more of it. I agree. However, very rarely do you see these characters portrayed in these stories. And it's not because any other reason that it's a product of its time. And if you want to see history and you want to see actual history and knowledge of Black people and people of color, I 100% agree with that. But I don't think by gender bending or not. I don't think by race bending characters, it's going to work. That's what they were yelling about in Little Women. That's what we're yelling about here. So the way it would work is if you race bend the characters.
We're talking about England in the 1800s. Now, obviously, there was diversity.
Yeah, because this character existed.
Yes.
Georgiana Lamb this existed, so she was aware that there were wealthy, people of color, wealthy Black people in their stories. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is that they're basically, the author is going on about how I'm mad like Little Women and this one. They need more. It's too white. We need these stories, but they need to be less white. I'm like, but the stories were white. That's just the way they were. I am 100% for, representing characters that are different than white people in the knowledge of history, in the context of history.
This is like they're trying to rewrite history. People are like, I get it. I get you want diversity, but I'm also like,
you can't insert it on something that didn't exist in the first place.
Rewrite history to be different. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. Look, the story is what the story is. You can find different stories that maybe have a different perspective. But it's the same mentality that we're seeing today with. We talked about this Instagrammer in another video. This Instagram influencer says kids should learn less about World War II to protect their mental health because it was sad. Because World War II was too sad to learn about in school. So let's pretend it didn't happen.
When we were kids, we learned about it. We had people actually come in and talk about it. Not just that in the 80s. Hell, they didn't dick around in the 80s. You had Care Bears fighting basically the devil. You had My Little Ponies fighting basically the devil. You had, Secret of Nim and Dark Crystal and all this stuff. And, things were dark. And no one sugarcoated it for you because they were worried about your feelings.
they waved guns in kids' faces. Kids got killed. Stand By Me. They go, the whole purpose is they go find a dead body of some kid that got hit by a train. You know, I mean, that's the whole plot of the movie.
Right.
And they showed you the body, too, you know?
So I'm just saying, you know, it's like, this is ridiculous. You might mess up your mental health. You wouldn't have made it in the 80s.
History is hard. It's too sad. History is too sad.
And how about the kids like in the 70s and the 60s and they had to go to, they were going to war.
Yeah, this is what blows my mind.
World War II people.
We're talking about, people are complaining about this kind of stuff, but you know, when kids were 17 years old, they were fighting for their countries. They were fighting actual evil Yahtzees and getting killed. You know, and today, 17-year-olds are like, history is too sad. Let's rewrite it. It's too
like
sad.
It makes me feel icky inside. I don't like it.
Icky. You know what? The rest of the world, you have the luxury of being able to, I guess, feel icky about it, because the rest of the world outside of your little protective bubble, they're living it.
Yeah,
they're living the sadness.
There are kids that are brought in to be soldiers and things, you know. So at least you have the privilege of feeling icky. You
have the privilege of feeling icky. This is the same mentality that led to, we covered this last year, where some of these blogs were having a meltdown over what they consider to be fascist cosplay. Here was just any military uniform in any anime was troubling. It made them feel icky that these characters were wearing uniforms that reminded them of Yahtzees, because, you know, the Yahtzees wore pants, so we're not allowed to wear pants either.
I mean, a lot of these uniforms, they aren't even like the same at all.
They're not even close. Not even close. But it got so bad that Anime NYC decided they were going to ban fascist cosplay of Tanya the Evil. And the funny thing is, Anime NYC had a film festival.
Oh, that's our article. That's right, because we promoted. Yeah, because they went and promoted it on Twitter.
And they're like, oh, we're going to have a film festival with Tanya the Evil, but you're not allowed to wear the costume because it might make people feel bad.
You said Tanya the Evil, and you clicked on I, Tanya.
Oh, geez, was that? So yeah, I mean, this is that same mindset. It's just so, look, and again, this isn't, you know, throwing shade at people who want to see more diversity in stories, but I'm also like, you can't take existing historical pieces and change history because it makes you feel bad that history was the way it was.
Right. Just then, you know, I recommend making new pieces, historical pieces, and doing them instead of using books that exist or things like that. I'm so tired of having everything just being race bent, gender bent, whatever. Just make new things if it's a problem.
Why can't everything be like Hamilton?
I love Hamilton.
Hamilton's cool.
Our kids love Hamilton. I'm just saying.
I love Hamilton.
I'm just saying this whole idea that, you know, it's Emma's bad because you know there's not enough black people, and Little Women is bad because not enough black people. There weren't in the book either. You know,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
And look, you can do a reimagining, like a modern day reimagining, but if you're talking...
They did with Clueless.
Yeah, you're talking a historical piece. Hey, sometimes history is icky, and sometimes history maybe is one particular shade over another, and that's unfortunate, you know, but you learn from history and you move on.
And like you said, if it's a reimagining, you can totally do it. Like Hamilton, Clueless, those kind of things, you're allowed, that's fine. But when you're actually using the historical document, the historical piece. I feel like Galaxy Quest, historical documents.
Oh my god, that's what it is. He lied. Can you imagine people like 500 years from now? Not even 500 years from now, because people are getting progressively stupider as time moves on. So in 100 years from now, they're going to look at Hamilton as the historical documents and be like, yes, rap was invented in the 1700s.
Probably.
You know? It's like, come on.
All this knowledge, people are getting dumber. It's funny.
But it's so weird. Like, this is the mindset now that history needs to be changed because it makes me uneasy. It makes me uncomfortable. And it's kind of troubling because now we're doomed to repeat it. You know, if you can't even talk about World War II and actual Yahtzees, you know, that is kind of Yahtzee-esque, isn't it? Like, let's not talk about
burn
this.
The book so we don't know what the kids don't know about this.
Right.
It's not, we only talk about what we want to talk about. We only acknowledge what we want to acknowledge.
We need to promote mental health. Like I said, kids a couple of years younger than you were getting their heads blown off, fighting actual Yahtzees. Now, people like you go out to Twitter because you've got the luxury of going out to Twitter every damn day and spending all this time on Twitter, calling people who might even slightly disagree with you Yahtzees. You have no idea.
No.
You have no idea.
No. So, I mean, that's my point of this. I mean, I'm excited there's an Emma movie coming out.
Yeah.
I understand why they feel the way they feel. But I think if you're doing a reimagining or you're doing it and presenting it in a new way, and it's clear that it's not being based on loosely the original, I think you're okay to change it. It's just like, but you know, I'm tired of these. They have to interject that, well, we need what we want because we want it. But that's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't really care, honestly, if they put, if they do new adaptations and they make the cast, you know, a different race, different gender even, as long as it's, you know, obviously something new. But when I just get so tired of hearing this, well, we can't have that because how dare they? They're white, but they were white in the book.
Yeah, I know. It's the thing that gets me too is like, look, and I'm not going to go off on too much of more of a rant here, but the fact that they refer to whiteness is almost like a disease.
Well, like that here, with diverse period dramas becoming more the norm, seeing one that leans so strongly on whiteness within the main cast looks jarring. Actually, no, it looks accurate because that's what the damn book was. I love Austen, and I will still check this film out. But I think that this is a norm that should be challenged. Why? Because you don't like it. Here's a new idea. Go make new things with a diverse cast that are period dramas that aren't based on a book that exists, and there you go, you can do whatever you want. But don't tell me about you want to be historically accurate, because that's not going to be the case. If you're going to do it as a classical piece based on the book, I'm sorry, you're going to have to take it white and all.
That sounds dirty.
I'm just
you're going to have to take it white and all.
That's right, I'm just saying.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.